Are we live? So, we're not going to cut the mics during the breaks today. Right?
Is it even on right now?
The mic's on. You can't hear me?
God, I can't.
What do you mean? Turn your headphones up.
My fancy new headphones.
I thought I spent a lot of money on those.
Oh, did you?
Well, $59.
They're comfortable, if that helps.
No, they're actually good. I was going to get them at the Guitar Center place, and they were like $79, but they were out, so I bought them on Amazon.
You said their name.
I know, because we're not really on the radio now. This is just social media.
This is true.
But you ready to go on the radio?
No, let's do it.
Let's go
Why
on the
not?
radio then.
Let's
You
go.
ready? Let's do it.
Now, Behind the Law with Justin Clark and Allie Mack on ESPN 580 Orlando.
And welcome to the program. It's another edition of Behind the Law, right here on ESPN 580 Orlando, our favorite sports radio station. My name is Justin Clark. Thank you for spending your evenings here with us. You can also watch the show. Follow us at Behind the Law Radio, Facebook, Instagram, any social media platform. Also, watch the TV programs. There are two every single weekend. Saturday, 12:30 p.m. on CBS, it is You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark. And Sunday, it's Behind the Law on television, 10 a.m. on TV 27. Tonight on the program, we're going to talk to you about one of the biggest problems in this country we have now, and that is student loan debt. I'm also going to talk to you about IRS problems because we've all filed our tax. Not all. Some of us have filed our tax returns by now. Some of us are on extension. But now is the time that the IRS starts sending us letters saying that we owe them money. It's a very scary letter to get. You know, that envelope with the little green tag on top, the little sticky thing that says certified mail from the IRS. It's scary. But the good thing is there are things that you can do to help solve your IRS problems. We'll also play Stump the Clarkie in the second half hour. We'll do the news here in just a minute. I'm going on vacation tomorrow, Brianna. Did you hear about this?
You are. And I was about to say, you are looking very refreshed.
You
like
think
you're
so?
just, like you're ready. You're on the verge.
You know, vacation's very hard for me because I have 3 children, right? 2 real children and another child that's called my law firm. And it's very hard for me to leave all 3 of them. But no, I really do, man. Like, I love I have a 6-year-old and a 1-year-old, and I love them so much. I'm like this loser who I hate to leave them. I really have mixed emotions when it comes to leaving, because this is just a guy's trip. We're just going to do some fishing in Panama for a couple days. So I'm only gone like 3 days, but
Right.
I could never be one of these traveling salespeople who are away all week from their kids. I couldn't do it. I couldn't be that guy.
What's the longest amount of time you spent away from them?
Probably 3 nights.
So this is
wow.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very, very rare that I ever go anywhere without them. I mean, look, I deserve the trip, honestly. I mean, I work my tail off here, as you probably know, but it's just hard. It's hard to leave them. But anyway, I am looking forward to it for sure. And it's not like a huge trip with, 30 dudes going. It's just 2 of my very best friends and I. So we'll have a good time. Looking forward to it. I'll miss seeing you on the radio. So I have the OG. Brianna is here to my right. Hello, OG.
Hello, Justin.
And the new Brianna, yes, pronounced the exact same way, maybe spelled differently, pronounced the same. New Brianna, how are you?
I'm great.
Good deal. So, what is going on in the news today? I know there's been quite a bit of news here locally, which I will get to as well, but let's see what's going on with Brianna first.
If it's on the internet, she's talking about it. It's what's going on with Allie Mack.
What's going on? What's going on?
Brianna is here filling in for Allie Mack today. What is going on, ladies?
So what is going on in the news? Did you watch last night's game?
Yeah.
You did?
Of course.
What were your thoughts about that?
I thought it was too damn late, honestly.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's like 12:30. I gotta get in bed.
Yeah.
But other than that, I thought,
Were you shocked that the Warriors actually won that game versus the Rockets?
no.
You
I
weren't?
they looked like they were going to win from the very beginning. It was hard to see Mr. Harden
Yeah, he got
with
hurt.
his eye. I mean,
Yeah.
he had like 2 eye scrapes, basically.
Yeah.
He wasn't seeing so well.
Hopefully he can come back and hopefully win the next 2 games, huh?
Not going to happen.
No?
No.
So what are your predictions about tonight's game?
I don't even know who's playing tonight.
Portland versus Denver?
Let's see here. Portland. Okay, so my first predictions, I don't care. Number
Oh,
2
no.
is I think Portland's going to pull this one out tonight.
I think so too. I'm rooting for Portland.
All right, good.
Okay, and then we have a measles outbreak
I've heard about this.
It was reported that this is the worst outbreak in decades, with a reported number of 700 cases this year alone.
Let me tell you something, people. Those of you who say, my religious reasons, I'm not going to get the vaccination. You know what? Get out of my country. Get out of my country right now, because you're the one that have brought the measles back. And here's what I've learned too, ladies and gentlemen. Even the people in my age group, what they had done, because measles were gone about the time that I came along, they were pretty much wiped out. So the dosages of the vaccination were lowered to the point where I can now get measles, and some people my age are getting revaccinated again.
Yeah.
So seriously, if you're gonna hide behind this freedom of religion thing in regards to vaccinating your children, get out.
And then in Florida, local news, the Florida House and Senate budget negotiators reached a final deal yesterday on the state's budget, with agreements on university construction projects, nursing home funding, and local projects. The spending plan is likely to be more than $90 billion.
Yeah, I mean, you know what they should fund? They should fund rider trucks to get all this construction equipment out of here on I-4 so we can have our road back.
Literally. You know what? We don't even care about the 8 lanes anymore at this point.
No,
I just want the whole highway back.
Yeah, let's go back to 2 lanes.
Right, I don't care. Let's just get it.
It's just dangerous.
Go
out
away.
there. Very dangerous I-4.
It's hard.
It is terrible. It's the on-ramps and the off-ramps that are really killing people. I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
the on-ramps, they're merging way too quickly.
Yeah.
They have less than 1,000 feet once you come on, and they're having a lot of blind on-ramps now, especially the Winter Park, College Park area. You're going through there, and people are just jumping on the highway. You're not even sure how they're getting into your lane, but here they are. And that's my rant.
It's crazy, yeah. I totally agree. Anything else going on in the news today?
7-Eleven. They are trying to eliminate the need for a beer run. They have launched a delivery service app, which is called 7 Now, and is being used in 18 cities across the nation, including Orlando, Tampa, and Miami.
Wait, you're telling me I can order beer through this app?
You can.
And it's going to come to
It's going to
my
come to your
home?
house. Yep.
Maybe the office when Justin's gone? I don't
Possibly.
know.
Hey,
Okay. Well,
watch it.
that is good. Is it already launched?
It is launched.
Good to know.
So I'm sorry. Beer delivery, is that what you said?
Yep.
Any idea what the name of the place is?
It's 7-Eleven. The app is called 7 Now. You can order your beer.
There's 2
through their app.
nearby. It's perfect.
Wow.
And it's
Have
already
fun
launched
fishing.
in 18 cities.
Can I order Reese cups too?
I doubt it.
Oh.
Only beer.
Just beer. That's
beer.
great. You can't just drink beer, though. You got to have snacks. Oh, well.
321-282-1055. The website is youhavepower.com. If you have any legal questions whatsoever, don't forget that we do have a big law firm right here in Maitland. We're always here to help with your legal situation. Never charging a consultation fee, and we work almost every case on a flat fee with payment plans that you can pay us over time, so you don't have to worry about the case costing 20, 30 grand. You know what the case is going to cost right up front. So 321-282-1055. Student loans. One of the biggest problems that we have in America financially. There's no doubt about it. You're only going to start hearing more and more and more about the issues that people are having with student loans. Let me give you a little background. The biggest issue and the biggest culprit, really, for why we have such an issue with student loans in this country goes back to the financial meltdown of 2008, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And what really happened was people were out of jobs, especially here in Florida. Florida is the epicenter, really, of the financial collapse, if you want to ask me, because a lot of people here work in the construction business, real estate business, that sort of thing, and that all tanked in 2008. We all know that. And we were all out of work. So what happened? Well, we go on monster.com, hotjobs.com, or wherever we were finding jobs back in 2008 and 2009. And as we were looking for work, these unscrupulous for-profit colleges were hanging out on these websites for people looking for work. They say, oh, there's no work out there. All you really need to do is come to school. We'll get you some student loans. We'll get you enough student loans where you can pay your tuition and you're even going to have enough money left over for living expenses. And then when you get out of this terrible college, of course, they didn't call it a terrible college, but it was. Once you get out of school, you're going to make $100,000. We're going to guarantee you a job as soon as you get out of school. Well, look. the vast majority of these for-profit institutions were absolutely horrendous. And if you got out of school, you weren't making hardly any money whatsoever if you could even find a job. But you know what you did have? The one guaranteed thing that you did have was a huge amount of student loan debt. So you thought you were trying to make yourself better. It's a rational thought process. I can't find a job, so why not go to school during this time while no one is hiring and further my education to then later further my career down the road? It was really a rational thought process. But because of all these for-profit schools, first of all, half of them shut down while you were still there. You couldn't finish. Or the other half, it was such a worthless degree that when you got out, these credits didn't transfer, or people would laugh at you and say, you went to that school? Like, I'm going to hire you from there. And a lot of them were even shut down by the government. So the biggest issue we have with student loans right now are the people who went back to the for-profit schools during the economic meltdown of the late 2000s. And what can you do about it? Because generally speaking, you can't file bankruptcy on the student loans, whereas if you owe Amex a bunch of money, you just file bankruptcy, no problem. So what can you do when you're saddled with $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 in student loan debt? What can you really do about it? What are your options? Most people don't know what their options are. The good thing is, we do. And we'll go through those options right on the other side of this break. It's Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. So, still on the air.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
Not on the radio.
No.
So no saying shit,
I
stuff like that.
I guess you could, because we're not on radio, but...
Yeah.
Say whatever you want to say, Justin. It's your show. Whatever you want. You are less than 12 hours away from vacation. So...
You have student loans?
Me, no, thankfully
Nothing?
not. Mm-mm.
You have student loans?
Jeez. I had about $6,000 left.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
paid
it?
My last semester. I paid as I went. I went in. I got my associate's degree in high school. So Bill Gates paid for that.
Good shoes. I'm sure there's some joke there, but I'm not picking up
No,
on
it
it.
was a program that was funded by.
Oh, really?
Navy,
Oh,
but
for real?
Yeah. So I left high school with 72 credits towards my bachelor's degree.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
And you guys can chime in and shut me up anytime, Of course. Are we gonna do a little what I always know about? Story.
Yes. Yes, we will.
All right, you ready?
Now back to Behind the Law with Justin Clark, right here on ESPN 580 Orlando.
Welcome back to the show. It is Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. Justin Clark here with you, 321-282-1055. The law firm website is youhavepower.com. You can also watch this program and every single program that we do here on ESPN 580 Orlando at Behind the Law Radio on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, any social media platform. You can watch the show, see the girls, say hello to them on social media. If you what's so funny?
He said, "See the girls."
Yeah, well, they don't want to see me.
You're running some sort of harem over here. What are you doing?
They don't want to see me. We just shot the new TV show this morning, which you will air on CBS this Saturday at 12:30 p.m. It's You Have Real Estate, so check that out. DVR it if you would. Look, the ratings on that show have been fantastic. I really appreciate you watching. So we go from TV to radio to TV to... It's like, how do I have time to practice law anymore, Brianna?
Honestly, I don't even know.
It's tough, right?
I'm not even sure.
But what do you think of the new TV show? Have you watched it yet?
I have.
What do you think? What can we do better?
Episodes. You know what? I love it, and there's not very much that I would change.
Really?
Yeah.
Now,
no.
do you like my makeup or no?
It's.
I'm serious.
Sounds like a trap.
Is there anything else? No.
This is a trap.
I'm still wearing my makeup now. Does it look okay?
It
do I
looks
need a little less
fantastic.
blush?
Nope. You look extremely tan. I thought you were just tan.
No, it's not that at all.
Oh,
It's makeup.
well.
Straight up makeup.
It looks fabulous.
So it's very hard on TV because I don't want to be all stuffy in a suit. So I generally just wear kind of what I wear, which is right now. Do you think I should go a little more dressy on the TV show?
Well,
or?
in today's case, we had a lot of female realtors,
Yeah.
and they kind of came dolled up, you know?
Exactly.
They dressed a bit to the nines, and
I made the set look terrible. I'm wearing jeans and a regular
like
shirt.
the scrub that walked off the street.
Yeah, well, one of them even said, "Hey, Justin, thanks for dressing up for me." I was like, "Whatever.
Oh,
Get off
wow.
my show."
That's get off my show. I hope she's not watching.
I'm just kidding. I didn't really say that. I said it under my breath.
Oh man, yeah, you did look a little just for today. Normally, no, you look great.
She's lying.
Oh, she's
New
lying?
Brianna. This is. She must want something. Because
I don't think she's
I know
lying.
that this is some
I
kind
want
of
you
lie.
to go to Panama.
I know.
Have fun.
I'm sure everyone in the firm is like gonna have a party tonight, knowing I'm gonna be out for a couple of days. They're so excited.
That's
They can't
funny.
wait for me to get the hell out of here.
No, I was telling Brianna, I was like, look, man, like I don't know until tomorrow. I need
Yeah.
to see pictures that he's there because he has canceled trips before.
Oh yeah.
And
Many.
we think he's gone, and we roll up into the office, and he's sitting at his desk.
Yeah. I've canceled many
Yeah,
vacations.
I've heard you went to the airport and actually didn't board the flight.
Yeah, it's happened a couple times.
Just leave.
That is crazy.
We'll know around 10:30 tomorrow if he's not here. Then he's really gone.
Exactly.
But
Three-
he could literally be sitting right there.
321-282-1055. Attorney Justin Clark here with you. If you have any questions whatsoever, give me a call or go to the website. You can reach us right there. It's youhavepower.com. Spell it out, YOU havepower.com. We were talking about your student loan debt before the break. Most of the student loan debt or these student loan problems are not from those of you that went to UCF or Florida State or UF, the University of Tennessee, shout out Vols. It's not that generally. No, yes, there is a lot of that debt out there, but generally speaking, that debt has become somewhat manageable. The problem that we have is the debt for those of you who couldn't find a job in 2008, 9, 10 because there were no jobs. And these terrible for-profit schools went on Monster.com and convinced you to go to their school, and they would say this every time. These were salespeople at these schools. They were calling you left and right to try to get you to enroll in their school. They would say, look, we're going to get you all these student loans. You're going to have so many student loans that you're going to have enough money left over to survive on, too. It's not just for tuition. This is living money for you. And you're going to make $100,000 when you get out. Newsflash. These schools stunk. And they took your money, and you very likely have $80,000 to $120,000, even if you just went for like a year and a half that you owe now, but you still don't have a good job because the credits didn't transfer or the degree that you got really didn't help you find a job. So what do? You know, if you owe American Express $100,000, you can file bankruptcy, you wipe it out. It's the easiest thing in the world. Student loans are typically not dischargeable in bankruptcy. Now, there are some exceptions, like if you can show that you're disabled, or if you can show that you just can't earn a living, sometimes we can file for a discharge through bankruptcy. But there are several other things that you can do. So listen to me closely. If you have student loan debt, this is not the type of debt that you need to sit on your hands and not deal with, because they will do two things, and they'll do two things very easily and very quickly. Number one, like I just had a client in my office 5 minutes ago. I was so looking forward, he says, to getting my tax refund this year, $8,600, because I was going to take my family, my wife and 4 children, on vacation, and then I was going to put the other $4,000 in my savings account, because this is kind of how we save money. We wait on the tax refund every year. Well, yep, it all sounded great until he got a message from the IRS saying you're not going to get one penny of the $8,500 that you're expecting to get back because the student loan company garnished it. And he was upset about it. I said, well, look, there's more to come. They're not just taking your tax refund. Now they're also going to send a letter to your employer. And they're going to say, employer, you need to start withholding 15% of this guy's wages too. So now they've taken your tax refund, but now they're actually going to take your wages as well. They don't have to sue you to do it. They literally just have to send a letter. Next thing you know, your wages are also being garnished. So student loan debt, much like IRS debt, is not the kind of debt that just goes away. You got to deal with it. You must get out in front of it. And one of the best things to do to deal with your student loan debt, first of all, call me, Justin Clark, 321-282-1055. But also, what you need to do is do some kind of income-based repayment program. So they can actually put you on a program where you pay hopefully a very small amount of money per month, It keeps you in good standing. It won't affect your credit negatively, and they won't take your tax refund, and they won't garnish your wages. So the very first thing we always look at is an income-based or income-driven repayment program. A monthly amount that is reasonable way, first of all, to deal with them is to do an income-based or income-driven repayment program. But there are other ways too. There are other ways to get rid of the debt. You can file what's called a borrower defense application if you think that the school defrauded you. Or let's say this. Let's say Brianna, that either Brianna, because we have two, spelled differently, pronounced the same, here on Behind the Law, ESPN 580. Let's say that you go to let's say that you have a criminal charge against you, right? But you want to go get your RT, radio technology degree, because you want to, read MRIs or whatever, okay. And you know that to take the state board to actually practice that type of medicine, you can't have a felony. But then you had that felony before you enrolled in school, then you might be able to get the loan discharged because the school should have never taken your money because you could have never passed to begin with. So in a case like that, if a school takes your money knowing you're never going to qualify to be in that line of work, you need to try to get the total loan discharged in its entirety. Now, this is not easy to do. This takes some time, and you really have to have a solid case and present a solid case, but we've seen it happen many, many, many times. So we need to really look at every situation individually. But again, the number one thing that you can't do is sit on your tail and do nothing, because I promise you're going to wake up someday and have your paycheck garnished and certainly your tax refund garnished. If you have questions about student loans, or you found yourself in default on your student loans, or you think you're paying way too much, give me a call right now, 321-282-1055. The website, youhavepower.com. You can also handle it in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. So if you're on some sort of payment plan, or you've defaulted on your student loans, or better yet, if they're garnishing you currently, you can file a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, and it'll automatically stop the garnishment. Now, it's not going to wipe out the student loans, but it will stop the garnishment and then allow us to get into some sort of program that you can pay back through the Chapter 13 plan. So, look, there are a plethora of options when it comes to dealing with your student loan debt. It's just figuring out which option is best for you. There aren't great options. There really aren't. I mean, likely you're going to end up having to pay something per month, almost no matter what we do. But there are options. So don't think that you're out there alone. By all means, 321-282-1055. We'll talk more about student loan debt, and also we'll talk about your IRS debt and how do you get rid of the IRS debt. And if you owe the IRS a lot of money, can you wipe out IRS debt by filing bankruptcy? All of that and Stump the Clarkie just ahead. It's Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. You have something for me? What's the category? Oh, okay. I'd say we'll run the show Friday and Sunday. What about tomorrow? You have a Thursday?
Yeah, we have a few Thursdays.
Oh, you're going to do Tom? Tom, if you're watching, your show's running tomorrow. I'll be in Panama.
He will. Fishing.
All right, you guys ready?
Let's do it.
Now, Behind the Law with...
Not that one.
Not that one.
Now back to Behind the Law with Justin Clark, right here on ESPN 580 Orlando.
Welcome back to the show, 321-282-1055. My name is Justin Clark. I have the OG Brianna to my right, the new Brianna to my left. Ladies, how are you?
Fantastic.
Good to
Fabulous.
see you. If you have any questions at all, call us or visit the website, youhavepower.com, youhavepower.com. You can also interact with us on social media, watch the show there, post your negative commentary about me, whatever you want to do, at Behind the Law Radio, or it's on, what? Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all those little things, social media things, whatever. And then also it's the TV shows this weekend, and every weekend, 12:30 p.m. on CBS, you have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark. And then Sunday morning, 10 a.m. on TV 27, it is this radio show on television. It's Behind the Law, 10 a.m., TV 27. We're going to play Stump the Clarkie in a minute, but we're also going to finish the conversation on how to deal with your student loan debt. And then also, maybe even more important, how do you deal with that government of the United States, the IRS, when you owe them money and they're coming after you hard? What options do you have? But first, it's time to play our little stupid trivia game here called Stump the Clarkie.
All right, and now it's time for Stump the Clarkie. Come on, Clarkie. We need you to get over here. We got some great trivia questions we want you to answer. Come on, Clarkie. Get over here.
So, Brianna, we have no guest today, and I did that purposefully because, every time we have a guest, you choose a category that they're going to know a lot about.
Oh, man.
I.e., we had, the Track Shack owner on, and you did a category about running. Yesterday, we had a guy who does odor control, and you did a category about odor.
I did.
So I was like, look, I'm not having a guest today, and I want to see what category you choose. What are we talking about today?
Today is all about social media marketing.
No, please. Is that for real?
No, it's
thank
all
you.
about IRS, bankruptcy, and student loans.
Oh my goodness gracious! Finally, something. You know what though? I win almost every time
you
anyway.
might be able to win.
I do win a lot, even though you always choose a category that I have no idea about.
Yeah.
You must admit.
That's true.
We should really probably keep my record. Maybe let's start next week keeping my record so I can really. Yeah, I'm okay. If I'm not doing well, I'm fine. We can still announce that. All right, let's play this game.
Question number 1. In the state of Florida, how many personal and business bankruptcies, both Chapter 7 and 13, were filed in March of 2019?
In March?
March.
Ugh.
Just the month of March, just the state of Florida.
Well, if I don't get that one close, I got issues. Well, I might be pretty far off. I don't know.
It's like one of those things, it could be good, it could be bad.
Yeah. If I lose
Do you want an
tonight,
attorney that doesn't know this answer? I don't know. I don't know.
We're playing a game of Stump the Clarkie. The category is bankruptcy and IRS problems. This is the main thing my firm handles, and I'm playing against Brianna, who's 24 years old and a non-lawyer. So
Yes.
if I lose to you, I got issues. You should probably
Real
throw me
issues.
off the show.
Kick you off the show.
Yeah.
We're going to change the name.
Behind the Law with the Briannas. All right,
love it.
go ahead.
Question number 2. As of January 2019, what is the average student loan balance
Ugh.
per person? What is the average student loan balance? Should get interesting.
I know you only have 6,000 left.
I do.
It's hard, man. When you're going to school and your family doesn't have a lot of money, what do? You have to get student loans or not go to school. I mean, that's all there is to it.
You just gotta be smart about it. That's all. It's all about being smart about
Yeah,
it.
people weren't lining up to give me scholarships.
Question number 3. According to CNBC, how many taxpayers will end up owing the IRS this year, 2019? How many taxpayers will end up owing the IRS this year? I'm looking for a number, not a percentage.
Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando, playing Stump the Clarkie here with Justin Clark. And it's one final question. Brianna.
What percentage of people who applied for public service loan forgiveness have been rejected?
Ugh.
What percentage of people who applied for public service loan forgiveness have been rejected? And this number is from a recent Forbes study that came out 5 hours ago.
And let me tell you something, too. When you're dealing with your student loans, you are not dealing with rocket scientists on the other side of that phone line normally. And you would think that, I'm going to call the government. It's student loans. No, these are just collection companies like any other collection company. And they are not super duper helpful, to say the least. All right, you guys ready to score this game? I
Let's
don't know.
do
I
it.
don't feel so good about it today, but I guess we're going to find out.
Let's
Let's
see
score.
what happens.
Well, let's score this game.
So question number 1, in the state of Florida, how many personal and business bankruptcies, both Chapter 7 and 13, were filed in March of 2019?
New, Brianna?
I said 275,000.
Oh, I think that's a little bit too high. I went with 3,200. What is the right answer?
A little bit too low. It's 11,000.
11,000.
too
That
high.
was terrible. But I mean, I'll take the point,
Yeah, you
but
get a
I don't
point.
feel like a victory there by any stretch of the imagination.
That's okay.
I thought I would be doing a little bit better than that.
You were optimistic. That's
so there were
okay.
11,000 last month alone?
Yeah,
Or in
it's
March?
kind of scary.
Huh. I think
Yeah.
that's up a little bit.
I thought so too.
All right, keep scoring this game.
As of January 2019, what is the average student loan balance?
I went with, and here I was a little confused because I didn't know if you were counting the zero balances in there as zero balance, but because if you're a student and you have no balance, are you counting zero? Are you including the zero in the anyway, 28,000. I'll shut up.
Okay.
I said 22,000.
22,000. I think both pretty good guesses, but one of
Actually,
them is
yeah.
closer.
34,000.
I originally said 32, but
Did you?
I went with 28. I'll take the point. 2-0. I'm sorry, Brianna. Don't get mad at me.
Oh,
All
no.
right.
Should have stuck with your gut there. That's all right.
Question number 3. 2-0. Justin Clark heading into question 3.
According to CNBC, how many taxpayers will end up owing the IRS this year?
What did you have, Brianna?
I said 4 million.
4 million. I think that's a pretty good guess. I went with higher with 12 million, Brianna.
And that will be 30 million.
30
Wow.
million. Jeez. I mean, I
I
might
think
be
someone knows what he's doing.
No, I'm really not getting that close, honestly. I'm not proud of myself. All right.
But you're winning.
I
So,
know. One final question ahead. What do you have?
what percentage of people who applied for public service loan forgiveness have been rejected?
See, I went a little high here because it's a disaster dealing with student loan companies. 72%. New Brianna, what do you have?
40%.
40%. What is the right answer?
And this just came out recent Forbes study, 99%.
Wow.
Jesus. 99%.
99%.
You see why I handle student loan problems?
This is why.
It is crazy. Thank you for playing Stump the Clark. You can always play along with us 8 o'clock p.m. here every single weeknight. Or follow at Behind the Law Radio. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, anywhere. Thanks for playing.
Okay, folks, thank you so much for being with us. Clarky, let's get out of here, buddy. My stomach thinks my throat's cut. I'm starving.
Thank you, Fulton Allen. We need to have Fulty back on the show, actually. He hasn't been here in a while, huh?
He's hilarious, yeah.
So what do you guys think is more scary to you? Would you be more nervous if you get a letter from the IRS saying you owe the money or a letter from your student loan company saying you owe the money? OG
I would say
Brianna?
OG.
Oh, I definitely say the IRS.
IRS?
Yeah.
IRS.
Okay, so, I mean, it's close, though, guys. I'm telling you, these student loans are ruining lives out there for people. And look, we can go back to this whole debate, and I get it. Well, Justin, I don't know why you're on the radio talking and supporting all these people who aren't paying their bills. All right, shut up, because these people have families, and they're trying to work their tails off to support their family. They're trying to do everything they can do to get by. I mean, Brianna, on this show, several times I've gone through a paycheck of someone making like $70,000 a year, take out the taxes, take out the health insurance, and to show what's really left over net. And then you take out the mortgage. Dude, there's not a lot of money left over.
Not a lot.
Even if you make good money, it is tough when you have a family and mortgage and bills. And then to top it off, you have a student loan company from some terrible school that you went to 8 years ago because you were trying to find a job telling you got to pay them $1,000 a month,
Yeah.
right?
It's
I mean,
ridiculous.
it's terrible. And I have absolutely no sympathy whatsoever for these student loan companies at all. None. So if you want to come up to me and tell me that I'm a bad person for trying to help human beings through a rough financial time, then I think you're a bad person. And stop talking to me. I'm serious. I'm proud of what we do, and I get the whole pay your bill debate. I get that. I do. But most of my clients were severely taken advantage of when it comes to their student loan debt. If you have student loan problems, 321-282-1055. You can reach out to me directly. You can chat with me directly on the website, which is youhavepower.com. IRS issues, always a big and scary issue. Let's debunk them right on the other side of this break. One more segment ahead of Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. You can't.
No, that's, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's like
they
debtor's
can.
prison. It's just like, what is going on?
They can. It's not very. All right, you guys ready? Oh, you ready?
Now back to Behind the Law with Justin Clark, right here on ESPN 580 Orlando.
One final segment of fixing your financial ailments. Justin Clark, 321-282-1055. YouHavePower.com is the website for the law firm. You can ask me any question right there as well. You can chat with me or send me a message directly through the website. All right, IRS issues. I mean, the IRS stuff is scary. It really is. People get very nervous. They don't know if they're going to go to jail because they owe the IRS money, and they don't know if they're going to, come knock on their door or go to their business. And the IRS can do this. But number one, I want you to know, if you ever get a call from the IRS saying you owe us money, this is a fraudulent call. The IRS does not, ladies and gentlemen, call you. They'll send you letters. I mean, they'll send you letters like, letters are going out of style. They can come visit you. They can come knock on your door. They can go to your business and visit you there, but they will not call you. If anyone ever calls you saying that you owe them money to the IRS, it is absolute fake, and hang up on them absolutely immediately. But so what do? You owe the IRS money. Let's say you owe them $100,000, right? You don't have $100,000 in your bank to just stroke a check, so what are our options for dealing with IRS debt? And there's a few. I mean, there's really several options. What I think is typically the best option, and you'll hear this little keyword or key term saying Fresh Start Initiative. You've heard that before? On these dumb commercials. So there's a lot of IRS people who work out of California or South Florida. The IRS debt is a very scary debt for you. The last thing I want you to do is call some non-law firm out of California and give them $5,000 to help you with the most scary problem you're ever going to have financially, when you have a local law firm like mine and a couple other firms here that handle it as well, who you can come talk to and really hold accountable for their work. So that's my first piece of advice. If you're going to hire someone, hire local, someone that you can actually go look them in their eyes like you can us. Okay, offer and compromise. This is the Fresh Start Initiative type theory, okay? An offer and compromise is simply a fancy term for settlement. So you owe $100,000 to the IRS. We go through an offer and compromise. You could settle with them for $1,000, $10,000. It's really all based on your ability to pay your current financial situation. The process, I mean, literally, it's a 9 to 12 month process, so it takes some time. But we have to get all your financial documents together and really paint a picture to the IRS that it is in their best interest to settle with you, because if they don't settle with you, you're likely never going to be able to pay. So in an offer and compromise, no matter how much you owe, we are attempting to settle the IRS debt for way, way, way less than you owe. These are very successful. I mean, we use this software that kind of mimics what the IRS uses, and once we enter everything in, we can almost tell you definitively what we think the IRS is going to accept as a settlement. So once we do that, once we have everything together, let's say you owe $100,000 and we think the IRS is going to accept $3,000, we'll actually send them the check for $3,000 along with the offer and compromise package, and then the waiting game begins. And that's when we kind of sit around and wait on them for 6, 9, 12 months, something like that. But generally speaking, if our software tells us they're going to accept it, they're going to accept it. So an offer and compromise is one fantastic way to get that nasty feeling out of your head that you're so worried about going to jail or they're going to come get you because you owe them money. And now you're back in the system. Now you're current. Now you don't owe the IRS money anymore. And this IRS debt can be very, very bad for your credit as well. Maybe you're trying to buy a house. No one's going to lend you money when you owe $100,000 to the IRS. They're just not going to. So the lingering IRS debt, it can be a real negative and you trying to move your life forward. So we always will recommend, if it looks viable, to do an offer and compromise. Now, sometimes maybe you don't have a lot of debt, or maybe you make too much money to where an offer and compromise is not going to be the way to go. We'll oftentimes look to do an installment agreement. Now, an installment agreement it's simply a fancy term for payment over time. You're going to pay them over time. So generally, if you owe $100,000, maybe $30,000 of that is penalties. And every time we can get the IRS to waive the penalties. So now we're down to $70,000, and then we're just going to pay the $70,000 over time via an installment agreement. So we're going to pay a certain amount per month, typically auto drafted out of your account until it's essentially paid off. So an installment agreement with penalty abatement, as we call it, is also a fantastic way to clear up all of your IRS issues. And then once you're paying on it, you're in good standing with them, and they're not typically going to go put liens against your house or liens against you in the county or whatever, which then certainly shows up negatively on your credit and prevents you from buying a house, sometimes even buying a car or anything. So you really want to stay away from owing the IRS money, because you want to stay away from those IRS liens, because they can get pretty nasty. What about innocent spouse? Have you ever heard of this? Innocent spouse. So have you ever heard of this?
No.
Okay. Have you ever heard about it? Innocent spouse. So husband and wife, right? Going through a divorce, and husband had a business, and he was, just signing things for his wife, and now all of a sudden his wife, they're getting divorced, is getting letters saying that she owes $100,000, and she's like, I don't even know what you're talking about, IRS. I have no idea. I had nothing to do with this. So in that situation, which we see quite a bit, honestly, especially post-divorce, one spouse can file for innocent spouse protection, saying that they had nothing to do with the debt. It wasn't their fault. It was really fraud on the other person. And oftentimes we can get you off the hook for something that your spouse or your ex-spouse did. So innocent spouse is something that you really should look at if you find yourself in that position also. It's Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. Justin Clark here with you. If you have any questions, 321-282-1055. The website is youhavepower.com. You can also watch this show live about 4 o'clock in the afternoon every single weekday at Behind the Law Radio on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, pretty much everywhere, I think.
Twitch.
I tried to set up Snapchat the other day again. You remember I used to have Snapchat?
I don't know what happened to that.
And then it disappeared, and I blamed it on Pilar, actually, but she swears up and down she didn't delete it.
She probably didn't.
So I don't think she did. And so I set it up again thinking that we could post some part of the show on there, too. Can we do that? How do you do that? Can we?
I don't know. If I take a look at that, it might disappear, so I don't know.
No, seriously. Can we use Snapchat? I mean, is Snapchat just for kids? Oh, you don't even do any social media.
I don't do any social media.
So the youngest member of the show has 0 social media whatsoever. So did you used to be on all of the social media?
I was on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
So how many friends did you have on Facebook, would you say?
250.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's not a lot, is it?
Yeah, it's a small crowd.
Yeah.
What do I have? How many friends do I have?
You're about to hit limit, buddy. You're almost at 5,000.
Is that good?
Wow.
I mean, no, you should let some people go.
How do you become a public figure?
You got to create a page. You want one?
I don't know.
Then you can have unlimited people follow you.
Huh? But then do you get all the friends then go follow you, or do
Well,
you have to start from scratch?
You start from scratch, but then you can share the page with your friends and get them to follow you. That's what I did. I created a public page, and then my personal page is for friends and family, and then I got a lot of the followers to go follow my other page, and then I just started deleting them.
Seems like a pain.
It is. Especially when you have 5,000, you have to go delete these people.
Why can't I I'm on Twitter too. I don't really do anything. I don't post anything on Twitter.
Yeah, you do.
I do. No, that's you.
Oh.
Right?
Somebody does.
It's not me. Trust me. I barely know how to do it. But no one follows me. I have 100 followers or something. How do you get Twitter followers? And do I even care? Do I want Twitter followers?
Yeah. I mean, yes and no. It honestly depends. Twitter's more of a conversation. So you kind of get followers the more conversations you kind of jump in.
Yeah, see, I don't have the time or energy or patience for that, really.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be on there tweeting all day
Twitter's
you watched
evolved.
Game of Thrones tonight?
Yeah, it's definitely evolved.
Are you a Game of Thrones lady?
Absolutely not.
Me neither.
Same.
And you too, right?
Yes.
So between the three of us, we've never seen one episode of Game of
We
Thrones.
can
Not
agree.
one.
And then what's this new movie everyone's making such a big
Oh,
stink
Endgame?
about? No, it's like Avengers. Is that what you're talking
Yeah,
Avengers
about?
Endgame.
Are you into that?
I saw it yesterday.
Oh yeah.
It was boring.
It was boring.
Waste of my
I heard
time.
it was like 12 hours long or something.
No, it was 3 hours.
Yeah,
really long.
exactly. That's what I mean.
I went in, the sun
Have
was
you se-
out.
have
When
you
I
seen
walked
it?
back out, it was dark.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I saw it on Sunday.
And is that
it,
your thing?
It was good. I do like superhero movies. I will admit to that. I do like superhero movies, although I was not 100% pleased with the way they wrapped up the Avengers saga.
I don't know.
I'm
I have
not
no
gonna
interest whatsoever. I'm
go on a
sorry. I
rant.
probably shouldn't say that because I know 90% of my audience likes one or if not both of those, but I just don't care. If you don't like them, let me know at Behind the Law Radio.
Let us know.
If you have any sort of student loan issue or you have an IRS issue, I want you to call me right now. 321-282-1055. Go to my website, youhavepower.com. I will invite you into my office anytime for a free consultation, flat fees if we end up doing something together that you can pay over time. We'll make it really easy for you financially to get that financial stress and that heartache out of your life. I'm going to go on vacation now.
You are.
I hope you two don't miss me. Someone's got to watch The Office. I mean, who's in charge around here when I'm gone?
You're out here geared out the phone number. Someone's got to answer.
Well, not only am I going, my office manager is going with me as well.
Oh, that's right.
Wow.
So, I don't, you guys, it's going to be a party around here. If anyone wants to party, please come to Winderley Place over the next couple of days.
We got that
'cause
7-Eleven app going.
It's going to be quite an adventure. For the new Brianna, OG Brianna, I'm Justin Clark. I don't know much, but I do know one thing.
What's that?
I'll see you right back here tomorrow night on ESPN 580 Orlando. Maybe not tomorrow.
Bye.
I won't be here tomorrow.
Somebody will.
Thanks for watching.